Connect and influence. Why do you think you need to connect? And why do you think you need to have influence on social media? Well, after the news that we heard yesterday, and I know for a lot of business owners, that was really, really tough news to hear yesterday that we are going into lockdown again. But I want to bring you here today, and I want you to really, really think about connecting and influencing your audience here on social media. Because now more than ever, it is so important, whether your business is online or offline, you need to be able to connect and influence your audience while you're here on social media. Whether you're building your business here on social media or online or offline, it makes no difference. So first and foremost, I want to talk to you about connection, and I want to ask you the question. Let me just see if I can pop that up there, and then I put up the comments. So let me know, can you hear me? Can you see me? My name is Amanda Delaney, and I am a business mentor, as it says here in my group. And if you haven't already seen some of my videos, make sure you click on receive notifications when I go live, because I've got lots of valuable content to share with you guys. So let me know in the comments, can you hear me? Can you see me? And we'll fire in. So I've got a question for you, so you can hear me and see me. Thanks, Helen. So I've got a question for you guys. So from the client base that you have right now, how many people that came to you were strangers? Okay, were strangers. So how many people do you have clients right now who were strangers? Okay, who were strangers, you didn't know them before, and then now they're your client, you have that connection, and now you're working with them. Okay, so we want to talk about connection here, and how do you connect with people? So here's a brilliant story. So think about a time when you, thanks Tamara, when you were on holidays, and you may have been somewhere foreign before lockdown, okay, or you may have been in the country, or we'll talk about you go on a foreign holiday and you're at the bar or you're on the beach, and there's very few people there, that you don't know anybody, but all of a sudden you hear, I'm from Dublin, so you hear somebody with a Dublin accent, okay, you hear somebody with a Dublin accent, and all of a sudden you're chatting away and you're talking about places that you're talking about, it might even be people. In my case, I've met strangers on the beach or in a pub, and we actually know the same people. Immediately, there is a connection because we have something in common. I'm going to say that again. Immediately, there is a connection because we have something in common. So when I talk about connecting with your audience online on a social media platform and attracting your ideal clients, we're talking about connection. So look at what have you got in common, okay? Because then you can't stop people talking. Then it's the conversation flows from one thing to another. And it is the same with your social media. To get that connection, like attracts like. So what have you got in common with your audience? So Helen is saying 4 clients have come in all of my 18 years of working from being strangers. Okay, so from being complete strangers. So sometimes what happens is we need to make the connection before they become clients. So on social media, we use the time and we use our content to connect with those people, so we get to know them a little bit. The like and the trust is there, and then they come and become our clients. Okay, the rest is just referrals. So referrals are fantastic as well. So someone that you've got connection with, we'll talk about that now in a minute. So Barbara is here, and she is saying almost all of our clients were strangers. Okay, so with strangers, we have to connect. We're strangers first, then they either become clients or friends. Okay, so even think about friends, people that are in your life right now, maybe your work colleagues, somebody you've just met online, and now you're friends. That connection needs to happen first. Okay, so that's why it's so important that your social media content actually connects with your audience. So when we connect, that brings me on to my second thing I want to talk about, and that is your influence. Okay, so when we learn to craft stories and messages, so Barbara is one of my clients, and she would be really connected now. We teach that extensively in my 90-day program, how to craft those messages and connect with your audience. So you've got connection now. So let's talk about influence. Now, when I started my business, when I decided to brand Amanda Delaney 4 years ago, I was no influencer. Okay, I was no influencer. Who was I to influence? And maybe you're thinking the same. Maybe you're thinking the same. Who am I? Do you see yourself as an influencer? Answer me that. Say yes in the comments. Yes, I'm an influencer, or no, I don't see myself as an influencer on social media. I used to think that, it was the bloggers and these people that had tens of thousands of followers, that you had to have a huge audience to become an influencer. But then I learned, no, you don't. Here's this great news for you guys. To influence people on your social media does not mean that you have to have a massive, big audience. So Helen's saying, what are you saying, Helen? I am for mental health, but not for my marketing business. Now that's interesting. So Helen is saying she's an influencer for mental health, but not for her marketing business. Okay. So how can we become influencers within our own area of business? Well, first and foremost, we have to be working on the connection, guys. Your content needs to connect in order to grow the know, like, and trust. And when you have the know, like, and trust, you can influence people. So what do I mean by influence? So what I mean by influence is, if you're a parent, yay, I love it, Barbara saying, I think I'm an influencer now. Absolutely you are, honey. So what is an influencer? An influencer who's somebody who can say something and that person, so either make a recommendation, or, you can influence somebody to make a decision, to change their mind. When we can help somebody to think different, do something different, buy something, that's when we have influence. So if you're a mommy or a daddy and you have a child, you're a parent, you influence your children every day of the week. We influence them to go to bed, to get dressed, to brush their teeth, to think, to get them to do stuff. So you're already an influencer. So how do you do that online? Okay, how do you do that online? And it comes back to what I spoke about yesterday, that 80-20 rule. So we're going back to 80-20. We're offering up a lot of value. We're helping people to think different. We're educating them. Maybe we're giving something that's interesting, and we're adding that value all the time. We're creating that connection with people, and then we can influence their decisions. Okay. Steph is saying, I am an influencer. Brilliant. So Doreen is saying, I've just moved my notes here. I think I have an influence on empowering the postnatal mum from work for years as a physio and educating in the field. Fantastic. So now let me know in the comments if you think now you're an influencer. Okay. Have you influenced somebody to do something different, to think something different, to buy something? Have you given a recommendation to somebody and they've gone off and bought on your recommendation? Well, then you have influence. So what you're looking to do in your business is, number one, let's recap here. Number one, connect with your audience. And number two, that will help you to have influence on your audience. So a perfect example of that would be just this week, last week, we had 257 people sign up to join my webinar. From there, we have over 100 people. We've actually 200 people in a video challenge group this week. Okay, now this is something that people were terrified of, absolutely terrified of doing video. And here they are on day 2. Put hashtag video challenge if you're here and you're on my video challenge this week. This week we had today we had task, laughter is the best medicine. And you know what? We've had great fun in that group today. There's been everything from knickers to boobs to dead pussies. Can I even say that on social media? We've had some fun with the stories in there on video. But the point I'm making is, to become an influencer, we need to add value, we need to have connection, and then we need to help people, to encourage people to, make a decision, to change their stories, to, change their beliefs, and make sure that they have a good experience with you, okay? So video novice here. You know, I always say for the video people who are in my video challenge, you can only be a video virgin once. Once you've gone live once, you're not a video virgin anymore. So we've broke a lot of that this week, and we're having some phenomenal fun and a lot of bravery and a lot of perseverance. And here's the great news. Your marketing is all about testing. Done is better than perfect, okay? Done is better than perfect. It's testing. It is, you're never going to get it right. There's lots of times when I put out content or video and I go, oh, I don't like that, or the background wasn't nice, or, you know, or the message could have been better, and so on and so forth. And you know what? You just need to learn to let that go and keep going. Perseverance and persevere, okay? So that is it for today. We have two things. We have connection today and we have influence today. But guess what, guys? You've got to show up with purpose on your social media in order to earn, you know, in order to connect with people, you've got to be there. In order to influence people, you've got to keep showing up and be there, and they have to know, like, and trust you for you to have influence. So I can't stress that enough, okay? I cannot stress that enough. You've got to show up. You've got to use your social media. And I know that's really, you know, it's like, it's time consuming, it's hard, it's difficult. But in the times that we are in, the times that we find ourselves in today, we're in lockdown. If you're a hairdresser, if you're a beauty salon, I was a beauty salon owner for nearly 10 years. Even if you're locked down and you can't get to your clients right now, you still need to show up online, because you need to be on their mind. You know, that you need to be there in the forefront so that they're not forgetting about you and that you're still adding value. Maybe you can be showing them how to do their hair at home, or, you know, how to do styles when your hair is grown out, how to hide your grays, you know, whatever it is that's relevant for your audience in your business. Because I guarantee you this, every single person is on one of these, well, nearly every person, millions of people, they're on their computers. We can't go anywhere. So remember that, guys. It's always your turn to show up. Show up with purpose. Show up to connect. And in turn, you will grow your influence. Show up as the expert. That's it. Join me here tomorrow evening, where I'm going to be talking about sales. I used to hate sales, but not anymore. So join me tomorrow night at 9:30. Make sure you're clicking get reminders when I'm live so you don't miss them, and we can interact and have some fun. So for those of you who are on the video challenge inside in my group this week, you're dying to know what tomorrow's task is, aren't you? So here is what tomorrow's task is about. Tomorrow on the video challenge group, you are going to be speaking about your comfort zone. So you're going to be sharing a story about a time when you have stretched yourself and stepped outside of your comfort zone. So I can already see the the cogs are turning now. You're thinking of your stories that you're going to share with us on video tomorrow over inside the WeFace Video Challenge group. So that's it for me tonight. You're welcome. Helen is saying thank you. I didn't do too many banners and fancy stuff tonight. You're very welcome, Helen, and it's been great to see you inside the group, my We Can and We Will group. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So that's it for this evening. I'll see you tomorrow night. And for those of you inside the video challenge group, I shall see you tomorrow for comfort zone stories, which is always a fun day to hear about how you have stretched and you have grown. Take care. Night night. See you tomorrow.